Well, it's devotional time again here midweek. Thank you for tuning in and for being my friend. Some of you, if you've lived in this area a while, may have a frame of reference for a guy named Mike Ramsdale. He was the senior pastor down at First Methodist Church in Mansfield for many, many years. There's another pastor there now, and Mike Ramsdale is a very active, proactive leader in our annual conference, working in the bishop's office in the area of evangelism. He's a good guy. He's a bright and capable man. He's a hard-working man, and I want to read to you today something that he sent out. The frame of reference is about church, because that's his world, and that's my world too. But you can apply the principles that are directed at the challenges for the church right now into your family, your business, or any aspect of your life, because the principles are the same. So let me read this to you. Ramsdale writes, I led a divorce recovery workshop a few years ago. Every time I hear that, I've always teased you and the loving people of the church that I never needed divorce recovery. I needed marriage recovery. But that's just something to laugh at. I led a divorce recovery a few years ago. One of the key ideas among many as we worked to guide people through a very difficult season in their lives was a question we asked them. What opportunity do you have in your life now that was not there prior to the divorce? Now, I've already told you we can apply this to other aspects of our life beyond just divorce or the church or whatever. What opportunities are in our lives now that weren't there prior to the shelter in place and all of the changes before COVID-19? We've all worried about it, stressed about it, wondered, argued, but have we stopped to see what new doors might have opened that might be standing right in front of us wide open that we have not yet walked through? I'm guilty of some of that. Back to Ramsdale. It was very difficult for most of the participants to answer. They typically had a hard time seeing beyond their present situation. Often rejection, almost always loss, and of course, in divorce, a sense of tangible grief. Opportunities in the middle of that mess were hard to see. Divorce or not, have we not all experienced that during challenging seasons of life? In some ways, it's very much like this for the church today. What opportunities does the church now have? I didn't say problems or challenges. What opportunities does the church have now that the COVID-19 season is well upon us? What needs to change? What must not change? What new future needs to be born in light of new opportunities that did not exist a few months ago? Ramsdale adds, one new opportunity is very clear. There is an amazing opportunity to reach people we were not reaching and weren't reaching. Talks about the division in our culture, people feeling disconnected from much of what they've known, people searching and looking for foundations and meaning. The framework that has held many lives together has been fractured, and the church can be the answer. People are in flux, sometimes chaos, not unlike the first century church. And that's where I will disagree. Yes, there are similarities historically, but I think this is the first time. The Roman Empire dealt with immaturity and selfishness to a pretty great degree. But due to the advancements of life since the days of the Roman Empire, I would suggest that the world right now, including our nation, is the most selfish time and culture that the world has ever known. How are we going to minister to that? Do we respond to these opportunities with enthusiasm and faith, or do we act like the divorce never happened and hope things will go back the way they were? It's interesting how life brings us changes. We all seek security. We like predictability. We like anticipating what will happen and following through on what we anticipate. But put us in the wilderness where there is chaos, change, uncertainty, and tomorrow is not nearly as clear as it once was. And we might want to go back to Egypt. We might want to deny. We might want to blame. We might want to put our head in the sand. We might want to find a new leader. And so we, as people of the church, must emerge and find new ways. Things we're doing here, we're trying to be who we are, not trying to be anybody else. Mark is Mark. Staff is staff. John, Tim, Darla, Linda, Josh, Sharon. We're all pedaling hard and fast. I see our people striving hard at home, with school, and doing what church they can. We're going to open up some new opportunities coming in the season that follows this installment of Devotional for some in-person opportunities, not only in worship, but for some other things. What opportunities are out there for our internet ministry to reach? Who are we going to lose in this, or who have we already lost, and who will we pick up? How can we change our attitudes about life and church? Are all these administrative meetings necessary, or can we streamline and do some things differently? How can a veteran pastor like myself continue to grow and innovate? I just learned on what I've done on my phone. Here it is. I just learned as we started this very devotional that there's a way that I can talk text. That's one of many things I can learn to stay sharp and innovative and still be relevant. Let's let this be our prayer and find opportunity found in this crisis and in life beyond it. See you next time.